Yeah. Yeah. Breaker, no South Jersey checking in. Danny in the shop where the real ones begin. 4x4s, 28 heading knocks, all late, she's hitting hard. Melting mud duck slide, Danny the man with that Dave May flair. Old school vibe, 90 smoke in the air. Forget that weak 6 pill high Q noise. This that Jersey Bill heat for the real convoy. Yeah, to my setup, but don't be a clown. Conex 3300 HP Max will shut you down. Cobra 29, Galaxy to the dome. PCC 66 or that Ranger Top 1 Chrome. Key it down, watch the mud ducks fold. South Jersey amps, yeah, the story gets told. Bleed over burning, watch it strong. 1, 2, 3 style, that skip rolls like. Key it down, watch the mud ducks fold.
All right, what's going on, everybody? What we got happening today? All right, we got a few people in here. Man, I've got an action pack full of things I have to do every day, and I've been meaning to get to this little guy. It's been done for 2 days, so I haven't had a chance to do the video. So here we go. We're going to do this video, and I'm going to send this unit out today. What's going on, Pepper? How are you? Your unit came in today. So this thing just took itself out of auto zoom for some reason. But either way, I took and I built this unit. It's standard 2879s. Auto sideband delay inside of it. So we're going to take and light up a few things and do the show and tell. First thing, I got to plug in my Coax. I disconnected the dummy load last night to run the antenna. There we go. All right. So I'm going to do the same test that I did a performance test on the bass box last night, but I'm going to have a different driver. But I'm going to use the same radio, I should say. So we're going to do the same radio. Go on, Eddie, how are you? Hearts and Joe, Warren Scott, how y'all doing, man? So I got Facebookers, YouTubers in here. I know it's the middle afternoon. Some people catch my live, some people don't. You never know when I'm going to put them up unless I give you a heads up. All right, so there you go. Pretty much standard business. This is a 4.5 cabinet and 4 transistor unit. This has 4 2879s inside. Pretty standard business on these units here. Let's turn on the power supplies. Turn on the bench. And we will get this thing started. So let me just take and circle it on. So anyway, like I said, pretty standard unit. What I do to these units, it don't come stock in this cabinet size, is the 120 millimeter fan. I do this, I recut out the hole and I install a 120 millimeter fan. Why do I do that? Because they're really good flipping fans and your unit's not going to get hot at all. It's not going to suffer. It's not going to have any problems. So yeah, I went down in cabinet size. I went up in fan size for this particular cabinet for simple fact that the heatsink is a little bit shorter. All right. So normally I used to do these in a 5-pill chassis. So it's quite a bit different between this chassis size and a 5-pill chassis. So we'll take a look at that heatsink. You see, that's a pretty good stout piece of heatsink. That's what's in a 5-pill chassis. So this is a 4.5 cabinet. So you're losing about this much heatsink. It's the same heatsink it's in there. It goes about right there to there. Let's see here, this heatsink. So you're using about this much of this heatsink. Somewhere in there. So almost cut it in half a bit. So like I said, the heatsink does its job. It has a nice deck on there. The deck is, it takes a lot to saturate that and then gets into the fins. But you want a good cooling system. This is the board for this unit here. This is actually going to be a little Mozilla 4-pill 2879Cs. So there you go. Really nice. Got some new markers to sign my name, and they kind of look like heck sometimes. But with that said, hi Molly. You say hello. Say hi. You sleeping? You lazy days? All right. So here we go. We're going to take and light this up, do the performance test on it. I have 1-inch output transformers in this unit, and pretty much standard, pretty much the same as what I just did with that base box unit last night. So that said, let's take and fire this thing up, and let's shut the Texas Star off real quick. Now, while we're just poke that button, let's run over to Coax phase angles real quick. Now, any radio, should have dusted this off last night, any radio that you run is going to do X performance for you. So the big difference between this radio is 148 and this R&R Cobra 29. That's a monster. This is pretty calm. So you keep that in mind. Now, if I flipped over and went over to the Cobra 29, which I will in the video, you can see the performance difference. But as I say, not everybody has that super duper radio. And do you need it? Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you. I like to see these radios run when you're running a driver. You don't need a super hot radio. But if you had just a straight 4-transistor unit or dual final radio, just that amplifier alone, you're not going to get away with taking and driving a driver in that when you have a big radio. So if you're a striker guy or a big output radio fan, big super peak and super RMS, that'll work great just into these 4 transistors. These are 2879s, mind you. So they can take a bit of drive. So going back to the radio, we run a half a wavelength of coax. A half a wavelength. And what is that? That's about 12 foot long. All right, of what? A certain family. That's a 0.66 family. That big word, velocity factor, that's the VOP, velocity of propagation. Those are 3 really big words. And that is all in what is how this coax is made. So if you cut your coax wrong, you're screwing yourself flat out, just ripping yourself off. And you're going to hurt your equipment. So mind you, if you don't run 213 of that family at 0.66, then that 12-foot number does not apply to you. But it will apply in a half a wavelength measurement. And you have to just do the calculation on it, 492 times the velocity factor divided by frequency, and that'll get you in a ballpark mathematically to cut your coax. Now, if you want to go one step further, you pull out your antenna analyzer and you go to stub tune, and you can literally measure your coax on what frequency. If it's close or really, really far away, it's going to tell you the truth of how that coax is cut. Really important. Now, if you guys don't choose to do that, that's up to you. I try to give everybody, provide enough information that will make you successful, if you have my stuff or not. So, to me, I want to see you guys be successful. I hate repairs. I hate hearing, I broke this down because I had a bad jumper, I had a flaky standing wave. I hate that. I'd like to see you guys go out there and be successful. And then when you decide to get and spend your money, you're going to spend it on your old piece of equipment. You're going to buy and purchase a newer one, better one, a bigger one, whichever, or the same size. But to take and make simple mistakes costs you a lot of money. And that's the point of that whole spew about that. So let's get into this little unit here. We're going to look at a 25 watt input reflex slug, 250 watt drive slug. And we already went over this last night with the radio. And we're going to look at 1,000, 2,500 over here and then digital stuff. So here we go. We are on the dummy load. See, on the dummy load, not on the antenna today. This unit's already been tested on the antenna. So let me just take and toss the lid on this real quick. Alright, here, I'm back. So, this is just the radio driving this thing. This is a 148. I'm on AM. I don't have any carrying or nothing happening here. Let me see. There's a little carrier. Alright, so let's just take a look at the RMS on the digital real quick. Check it. Scott Novel, you like to burn things up? You're the monkey, the grease monkey. I'm doing 200 watts RMS. 150, 200 watts, somewhere in there. Now the Peaker Tweaker, this is just the radio. All right. Peaker Tweaker, 650 audio, 1, 2, 3, 4. 650 watts. So if you're that guy that is just peaking and tweaking and peaking, that's that. All day. When guys are, when quote unquote, self-proclaimed builders say, here's your peak. That's what you're seeing right there, shit show. So here you go, 1, 2, tweaker, 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 tweaker. All right, so that's AM. Now if I go to sideband, my peak is going to be almost identical. All right, here you go. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. All right, now if I go to RMS, now your RMS turns to average peak. Okay? Tweaker, 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 not even really, audio 1, 2, 3. So if you have an average meter, RMS meter on a bird, and you don't have a true bird peak, yeah, you can get ×2, ×10 ones, whichever. They understand what you have and understand if they're calibrated properly or not. But with that said, you go on sideband and you start talking and saying, oh, I need this much drive. And this is where it's kind of, this peak meter here is going to be very important to what you're driving into this unit. Because I just clearly showed you, if I take and peak this thing, or RMS right now, and I'm on sideband again, see, sideband right there, I'm on upper. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. I hit 450. Now, if I hit the true peak, audio, 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 audio. So that could seriously damage your box because you think you have X amount of drive into this unit. Now, let's just take a look at that real quick. So if I hit this right here, and I go to AM, let's see where we're at. AM right here. AM audio. So right there, I'm only pulling, that's 250 watt slug. Each line's 5 watts. So 55 is the 50. Audio. So I'm doing 35 watts RMS, okay, on AM. All right. Let's look at it over here. Audio, 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 audio. So it's in like 50, 75, somewhere in there. Set 100. Go to sideband. Audio, 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 audio. See how much that just came up? I'll go back to AM. Audio, 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 RMS. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. All right, it's AM. Now same deal. Here's sideband. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. You're really laying it into it. All right. Now, go back to AM. Throw a carrier here. All right, got about 100 watt carrier on that. I'm reading 1,000 watt slug here. Audio, 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 audio. So I'm doing 300 watts. Why am I only doing 300 watts? I got plenty of modulation. I had 250 watt slug. I'm on AM. Let's see how much drive we have. Audio, 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 audio. So I'm doing 35 watts of drive. Here's my input reflection. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about a watt. 1.5. All right, so I'm only pulling 300 audio, 320 on that one. Let's see, there's 2,500 right here. Top scale is times 50. Audio, audio, audio. Same thing, 300, 350. Now I'll go back here to the digital. Audio, audio, audio. All right, 350, 400 overall. Let's see what happens to my peak now. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. 1,000, 1,050. And that's 35 watts of drive. So again, like a dual final radio striker type of stuff, you're going to be in that category of input power drive level. Now keep in mind, what I have that those radios don't. I have 2 finals making a lot of modulation in that Texas Star. 2 Toshiba 2079s are what's in there. So your peak may be a bit lower. Just give you guys a fair shake at this. Now, if I decided to take that same 35 watts, audio, 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 25, 30 watts, and I go to sideband. Now, we've got to ditch all the peak stuff now. We got to look at the peak meter. What are we going to do on sideband? Probably about the same as AM, very close to it. Tweaker, 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 tweaker. All right, 1,000, 1,050. Now, if I back this down, what happens? Audio, 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 audio. Well, that's about 100 watts. Now, if I turned it up and we were at about 30 watts, audio, audio, audio. What I got going on? I'm on sideband, that's why. Okay. Audio, 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 audio. You see how much that makes a difference just from sideband? Audio, audio, audio. That amplifier sees that extra power. All right, here's AM again. Audio, 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 audio. All right, there's our 35. So let's bring this up to around 50. Audio, there's 45. All right, so 45, we're on AM. Throw a carrier. Back carrier down a little. Turn it up a little. There we go. All right, here we go. Hello, 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 hello. So I'm only doing 320. What is my drive now? I'm using the drive. I set it right at 45, I think. Audio, audio, audio. I'm still at that 45. Input, reflection, audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's tweaker again on AM, audio, 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 audio. Go to RMS. Audio, 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 audio. Show me about 400 here. Let's see what 2500 says. Audio, 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 audio. 350, maybe 400. Now, if I were to go and have the same 45 watts of drive, audio, audio, audio. That's RMS. 45 watts of drive on it. Sideband now. Audio, 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 audio. 900. Okay. Audio, 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 audio. See, that's average peak now. Audio, audio, audio. So I'm showing about 820. Now, if I were to go up just a smidge, you gotta go to AM to set this up. Audio. All right, so we're showing about 45. Let's go up here. Audio. About 50. Audio. All right, there's a 50 watter right there. Back to AM. Turn my unit on. See where we're at in RMS now. Audio, audio, audio. Same 400. Didn't give much. A little 5 watts didn't help much. Audio, 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 audio. So 380. Now, that's with this 148. Now, if I had that same power going in this on sideband, is it going to help me any? Look at the peak. Audio, 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 audio. It picked up and it is maxed out at 50 watts of drive. So, if you take all of those things and all those little quick tests that I did and gather them up, that's where you're at with that weak radio. Now, let's go to a good AM radio. Let's go to this R&R. Let's go to this R&R Cobra 29. And let's take a look at that. Okay, let's turn this one on. Switch microphones here. All right, now, carrier. Carrier. All right, there we go. So, same difference. Let's see what my radio is doing now into this amplifier, this driver. Audio, 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 audio. So I got 60 watts. I didn't change anything. Let's look at RMS now. This is a good Cobra 29 with 60 watts of drive. I'll back it back down to 50 in a minute. Audio, 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 audio. Wow, we're hitting that 500 mark now. And audio, 450 up there. What's the 1000 says? Audio, 420, 440. All right, now, that's with a good AM radio at about 50 watts of drive. Okay? Audio, 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 audio. All right, so we're about 60 watts of drive. Now this is the input reflex. Now this is interesting because you just seen this had a little higher input reflect on that particular radio. All right, audio, 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 audio. So I'm about 3/4 of a watt. So the performance of the two radios, obviously, the Cobra 29 is better than the 148. Now the input reflection between the two radios, if I run one or the other, the Cobra 29 is a better match to this amplifier. Now, where we are at with the input reflect, it showed a little higher, and it has to do something with the radio itself. But it's okay. Not every technician is going to build a radio where every radio is going to run identical. There's always going to be a variation or two. Hold on a second. So if you have some variations and you're actually measuring this stuff, that's why I brought this to you guys' attention, that you could have a difference on your input reflection when I'm measuring right here with what's going on with this radio. Now, if I were to put a 5-watt slug in here, this will tell us truer what's happening. So let's take a look at that now. 5-watt slug, each line's 1/10 of a watt. What's going on, Rudy? How are you? Check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4. So she dances around a bit, but it sings out around 3/4 of a watt to maybe 1 watt input reflection going back to my driver. Okay, so any way you like to cut it, these units are auto sideband. They'll run on AM or sideband. You can put them on FM, but you have to beware of your carrier because that's what you're talking on. So if you're wanting to say, oh, I want to try this on FM, you just simply throw a carrier and you're just standing everything still. And if you have too much, then you could damage the box. So the good rule of thumb is, if you know this unit will perform at 400 watts RMS on AM, then I would set up a carrier level of about 200 to 250 watts and talk on an FM if you're going to do something like that. But there's some guys that like to play with the FM. I did it when I was young and wanted to just experiment with different things. I played with that a little bit. It's kind of cool. But with that said, this is a South Jersey 2879 and a 4.5 cabinet size with a 120 millimeter fan. It has a standard it has standard SOs in it, but it has a standard remote jack is what I meant to say. So if you guys are looking at, you already have a remote system with wire, that's cool. If you want a wireless system with somewhat wireless, you still have to plug in here, and that furnishes the power for the remote system and etc. But anyway, you cut it. This is the standard line, South Jersey line. I think it came out really nice. It's a 4.5. I apologize to the guy. I'm 2 days behind on trying to get a video and get this thing in the mail, but it will be going out today. So there you have that. Then we got Molly over here. What's she got going on? I gotta help her out. Hold on, I'll be right back. What do you think, Molly? Hey, Molly, I got peanuts for you. Come on out here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Molly. Hi. How are you? How's my baby girl? How are you today? You a good girl? Huh, Molly? Oh, man. You gonna wave? All right. How are you? You want a peanut? There you go. You like them peanuts? Yeah. No? You don't? Yeah? You gonna sit like a squirrel? Come on, sit pretty. Hold it. Come on. Come on up here. Hold it. Hold it. Come on. Come on, Molly. Oh, you just cheating now, aren't you? You used to, when you're young, you used to be able to sit up there for 10 minutes. All right, you gonna sit pretty? Sit pretty all the way up. All the way. Come on. Come on, hold it. Hold it. Good girl. You're a good girl, Molly. What's going on, champ? Cliff? So there's a key down coming up in the sand pile. Woody Woodpecker's break's coming up. I'm not going to it, but I have some guys going down there that key some of my equipment, and I wish them all well, and y'all have a good day and out in that field, and stay hydrated. There's another peanut right there. There you go. You're like Miss Pac-Man. So if you're heading down to the sand pile next weekend, y'all be safe, travel safe, have a good time, enjoy yourselves. I won't be down there. So I think the only break that I committed to for the whole season was Scooter and Criddle's break at the end of the season. So it'd be nice and cool in September. But that says, you want to catch up with me, I'll be down there at Scooter and Criddle's break in September. I can't know the exact date, but if you want to look it up, go to 11 Meter Outlaws on Facebook. They have a page there. So there you have it, guys. One little 4.5 sideband capable, FM capable. They're all FM capable. You just have to mind your dead key, how much you're talking at, and you'll be okay with your amplifier. Just keep up with your cooling system. But that said, nice little unit, turned out well. It is Tuesday, so y'all have a wonderful day the rest of the week, and hopefully y'all take and do some testing and fire this one up. Got the big boy here. I got a 4x16 staged unit ready to start testing. I have to cut my power wires and get it all fitted up and plumbed up to the bench and start rolling tests out on this unit. All the business on this one is in the back. And I guess that's how the guy's going to have it in his truck. But he wanted all the controls in the back. And the face is right there. Turned out super clean, super nice. Nice little unit. So that's just a little sneak peek of what's coming up. I got to get back on the bench and get after this stuff. So y'all take care. God bless. I am rolling all the way to the left. Catch you later.